Young girl studying in college. During a lecture, she receives a message on her cell phone. How are you getting home? She replies that she will go by bus. The lecture ends and the girl goes to the bulletin board. She doesn't want to take the bus and decides to go with a stranger. She agrees with an unknown guy to go together. The girl is very unhappy that the boy stopped far from the entrance, that he has no space in the trunk, and that the car door is broken. To put her luggage, she leaves the guy's bag outside. On the way, she talks on the phone with her friend, but the guy is annoyed by her talking on the phone. The girl takes a photo of the guy and asks him why he is dissatisfied. He says, there is a rule. During the trip, the passenger must talk to the driver so as not to get bored, but the girl doesn't want to talk. She asks him what school he attended. He says that he studied at the same school as her. This ends their conversation. The girl turns on the music and they drive on. An hour later, the guy asks the girl a question. How is vision correction done? The girl explains that during vision correction surgery, they use a laser. She is going to have surgery in the summer. The guy says that glasses suit her. The girl doesn't understand how he knows that she wears glasses, because she only wears them at home. The guy changes the topic of conversation. They arrive at the gas station. The girl wants to go to the toilet, but cannot get out of the car because she painted her nails and the polish is not yet dry. The guy offers her his help. He takes her to the store. The girl goes to the toilet. She quickly does her business, but then cannot open the door. She calls for help, but no one comes. The girl hears someone's voice.
Hey, I'm locked in here.
After several attempts to open the door, she manages to do it. The girl asks the guy why he didn't come when she called him, but the guy says he didn't hear her. The seller tells the guy not to forget that he needs to drive on the highway. The girl offers to pay for gas in half, but the guy doesn't take her money. They move on. The guy sees a highway sign, but turns off the path.
What the hell is this?
It's a scenic detour.
The girl starts to panic and asks him to get back on the road, but the guy says she shouldn't worry, it's just a nice shortcut. They drive further into the forest. He turns on a Christmas song and starts talking about Christmas. The guy talks about how he celebrates Christmas with his parents. The girl says that she celebrates Christmas twice with her father and mother separately. During the conversation, the girl understands that the guy knows about there's too much of her, and she starts to panic again. The girl comes to her senses and gets out of the car. She tries to call, but there is no connection.
What are you doing?
The guy received a head injury. He asks where the second car that was going to the meeting is. The girl thinks that the other driver has driven away, but the guy notices that there are no tire tracks on the road. He tries to call for help, but no one can hear them. He decides to look around and finds grave crosses. He asks the girl to sit behind the wheel, and he tries to push the car. They are unable to get out of the snowdrift, and the girl locks the car. She blames him and says that he is to blame for what happened. She thinks he's a maniac. They start quarreling. He says that he is not to blame for what happened, and he is not a maniac. The guy is about to go to a gas station and offers to go with him, but the girl is afraid of him and decides to stay in the car. The guy leaves. He decides to take a shortcut and goes into the forest. Meanwhile, the girl finds tape in the car and covers the window, but she notices the man. She gets out of the car and calls out to an unknown man. She asks for help. The man continues to walk. Soon he turns into the forest. The girl becomes scared.
Hey! Oh, relax. Take it easy. It's just me.
She says that she saw a man on the road. The guy says they need to get back to the car. He says that the gas station is closed. The girl doesn't believe him and doesn't want to get into the car with him, but she has no choice. The clock in the car stopped. The girl tells the guy that he is bleeding, but he says that the wound is not dangerous. A girl asks a guy who he really is. He replies that he is an ordinary student. He admits that he lives on the other side and just wanted to give a ride to a beautiful girl. He found out from her friends where she lived and what her hobbies were. During the lecture, the guy saw a message on the girl's phone and realized that this was his chance to meet her. Having learned the truth, the girl calmed down a little. The guy offers to eat, but the girl left a bag of food in the parking lot. but he remembers that he recently dropped a candy bar under his seat. They continue to argue and swear. Suddenly, the car engine stops working. The girl looks under the car with a flashlight and sees that all the gasoline has spilled out. The car starts to cool down very quickly. The guy takes out the girl's things and offers to put on a lot of things, but there are no warm clothes in the luggage. The girl says that she was not ready to get stuck in a snowdrift. They start to freeze. The guy offers to warm up in his arms, but the girl is against it. A little time passes and the girl goes to the toilet. She goes into the forest to pee and notices strange people, very creepy people. She returns to the car and says that she saw people. The guy runs after them.
Hey! Wait! Hello?
The girl says that they need to get back into the car because these people saw her and didn't stop. She returns to the car, but the guy continues to follow people. On the way, he starts coughing and sees blood on his hand. The guy goes further and finds an abandoned old house. He goes inside and finds an old newspaper there. There are many frozen bodies in the house. The guy runs out of their house in fear, but when he turns back, all the frozen bodies disappear. Meanwhile, the girl notices a man on the road. She gets out of the car and calls for help, but the man moves on and is not going to stop. She runs after him. The girl backs away in shock, but there are other ghosts behind her. The guy returns to the road and finds the girl, who is very scared. She tells the guy that saw the dead. He takes her to the car. They cover the window with the newspaper they found and hug each other to keep warm. The guy has completely regained his confidence. A few hours later, an unknown man knocks on their car. This is a policeman.
Someone ran us off the road.
There's no parking here. What are you talking about?
The girl thinks that this is a scam, and the policeman and the other driver want to extort money from them. The girl tries to give a bribe, but the policeman does not need money. He tells her that this is a dangerous section of the road, and often lonely girls get into accidents. He invites her to get into his car. The tension begins to build.
You're not going anywhere!
The girl notices another man on the mountain, and the policeman orders her to get into the car. She starts begging him and asks him to leave them alone, but the policeman continues to approach her.
Away from where you
The couple teleports into the car. The guy's hands freeze to the pry bar, and the girl lets him warm his palms. She asks what it was, to which the guy replies that it was a ghost. They continue to sit in the car and dream about delicious food. The girl asks the guy to tell him what food was in the lost package. The girl begins to despair and cry, but the guy calms her down and says that dawn will soon and they will definitely be found. The girl sticks a newspaper to the window and notices familiar faces in the photo. In 1963, an accident occurred on this road. The girl and the guy died. There was a policeman in the second car. He also died. A group of priests were the first to arrive at the scene of the accident, but were unable to help. The girl offers to take turns sleeping, and she is the first to volunteer to be on duty. A little time passes, and the newspaper peels off from the window again, and the radio suddenly turns on. In the flashback, we are shown how a policeman caused accidents on the road and kidnapped young women. The guy wakes up and tries to wake up the girl. Music from the radio starts playing again, and a patrol car appears on the road. Cold air begins to enter the car through the air ducts. The guy tries to block the air ducts with his body to protect the girl. Soon she wakes up. After 1 hour, the couple continues to sit in the car. The guy looks very bad and sickly. He tries with all his might to talk to the girl to cheer her up. She wants to find pills to give to the guy, but finds a bottle of bloody urine. She asks how hard did he hit. He says that he has been coughing up blood for a long time and that during the accident he damaged his internal organs. She wants to go to the gas station to get help, but the guy says it's dangerous. She comes up with a new plan. She wants to connect the phone to the radio tower and call the rescuers. Before she leaves, the guy says that he wouldn't mind if this life after death began anew and repeated again and again. But next time, he would change one thing.
Next time I'll just walk up to you after class and say hi.
The girl kisses the guy, and he leaves. She quickly climbs onto the pole and connects the phone. She manages to call the rescue service and pass on a message, but due to the poor connection, she doesn't know if she was heard. She goes downstairs and meets the murdered girl, but the ghost does not touch her. The girl returns to the car and tells the guy that she managed to get through, but the guy doesn't hear her anymore. He died.
Come on, wake up! I got through! I got through!
Another hour passes and the girl decides to pull the guy's body out of the car. At this time, a man passes by who was at a gas station during the day. He helps the girl load the guy's body into the car. The man takes the girl with him and radios the police. On the way, the man says that this place is cursed. There have been many terrible accidents here. It's been a long time since a policeman stopped young people on this road and killed them. But one day he himself got into an accident and burned down along with his car. After this incident, people began to die here. A family was found frozen to death. The girl asks what happened to the priests.
They're all found frozen to death in their beds.
Another car appears on the road ahead, and the radio starts playing that same song. The girl immediately understands that this is a police car. The man and girl survive, but the man wants to check if the other driver is alive. The girl gets out of the car and realizes that they have returned to the same place from where they left. She tries to stop the man.
Stop it. I need to help him, all right?
The priest approaches the policeman and snatches the radio from the car. They staged a lynching of the killer, but the ghost of a cop gets out of the car and grabs the man. The man turns into ice. The girl runs to the car and tries to start it, but the policeman catches up with her. He tries to grab her, but a guy comes out of the forest and saves her. The girl wakes up in the car with the body of a dead guy. Soon morning comes, and the girl notices the ghost of a guy outside. She gets out of the car and follows him.
I would have told you everything eventually.
He tells her that everything will be fine and leads her to Forest. The girl makes her way through the snowy forest to a gas station. Doctors and rescuers arrive. The girl receives first aid and looks at how the body of the dead guy is taken away. She takes out her phone and looks at the photo of the man who saved her. And this is where the film ends. Write your opinion about it in the comments. Like the video and subscribe to the channel to be the first to watch new videos.